Something I've noticed since I started my YouTube channel is that there's not enough women representative in this community, and I wanted to affect change and do my part. So I started this segment called From a Woman's Point of View. I think it's important as a community and as a society that we start having these conversations, especially if you have younger kids that inspire to be in the comic book industry or the movie industry in some shape or form. After watching this video, I noticed that my mic wasn't working properly. So what I would do to combat this is post my questions on the screen and switch over to my guest and see what her answers were. My guest is my sister-in-law, Heather, who is a smart, successful young woman, and I can't wait for you guys to see what her answers were. Let's roll the intro so we can get started. I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Hi everybody, bonjour tout le monde, welcome to Capital JB Comics, I'm JB, and welcome to my new segment of 2019.
I work for a municipality in the Ottawa Valley, so the city of Pembroke, and I have a couple of things that I do, but one big part of my job is tourism. I'm the tourism officer, so I'm working on strategies and initiatives and programs and things to attract people into our city. Yeah, I mean, we definitely have to think about demographics when we're creating something. So you have a target audience in mind. So that might be split by age. It might be split by, you know, there's all sorts of tourism research on profiles of like the type of people who travel.
Okay.
So whether, you know, the type of travel they're seeking.
Okay.
So, you know, so it's based on those kind of, there's definitely categories, and then you adjust either the messaging that you're putting out or the actual, you know, sort of package or product that you're selling for them, because it's different to everyone.
Gotcha.
I mean, obviously, for any brand or product to grow, it needs to find ways to tap into new audiences. Mm-hmm. So when you were telling me about, so I'm like, part of me is like, you know, as a woman, if you're looking to be interested in a character, if it feels like it's just sort of the secondary knockoff of a male character, then I don't see that being necessarily super like empowering, you know?
Yeah.
But then part of me also wonders if there's some familiarity, then, you know, there's sort of a sense of, there's familiarity, right? So you get that, like, I recognize what this is and I can see how they go together. So I don't know if the approach maybe necessarily was the best. Obviously there was a lot of backlash, whether it was good or bad ways of seeing backlash. I think you do have to try and find new ways, but for women especially, I think there must be, like, that seems like a good opportunity to really introduce some cool, you know, intelligent, powerful, really interesting women to be role models for women, if that's what they want to do. Maybe they're not in the role model game, but superheroes certainly are. I think part of my reaction is not surprised, because so many images that we see are of women in some sort of sexualized manner, right? Like skin sells for everything. But you know, and obviously that has its appeal and it helps sell for certain people. But for me, like, it's not appealing. It gets frustrating, especially, you know, like the practicality of it. Like, why would you have your chest and stomach out when you're going to be fighting? So, and it's just, it just adds to that, you know, the whole issue that we see in society of, even though there's been tons of work to try and tell women that, you know, every woman is different, every body is different, and every body is beautiful. There's still always these images that show that you have to be, yeah, like huge boobs, small waist, huge butt, like ripped but still feminine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it just feeds into that image of like the unattainable goal that we are told we should be seeking, and then makes us feel bad about how we look because we can never get that. I think that, you know, there are other ways to show that women are powerful and have a presence. You know, it's not just about appearance. Like you said, the men are also, like, none of them are overweight and ugly, right? You know, like the heroes are meant to be sort of a ultra persona, but, you know, even if it's just more the practicality of like they can wear a full suit and still, you know, like a jacket and still be, you know, a badass woman fighting alongside equally with the other people, you know, on her team if there's a team or whatever. So I think, you know, it's like you said, like harkening back to the gymnast example, like exactly, like those women are so tough and solid, and like so practically like you're just muscle, you know, so like, you know, if you drew it maybe more realistically,
exactly,
then that could help. Still, it could be like an over-exaggerated version of that, but it doesn't have to be so on the like sexualized spectrum. I think that's exactly right. I think we've seen examples where when you have new voices at the table who maybe weren't traditionally there, then it can't help but bring perspective that wasn't there before, because I don't understand what it is to be a man, you know, so why would a man understand what it is to be a woman at the table and understand, you know, how certain images what that might reflect or make people feel or think. I saw this video recently where a mom sent out a tweet saying her daughter she's 4, came home from school and said, you know, Mommy, I think I'd really like to be a firefighter, but every picture I see is of men and I don't want to be the only girl being a firefighter. And so she just sent out a tweet saying, hey, does anyone have any resources where it shows women as firefighters? And women from across the world in different, you know, who are firefighters sent pictures and messages saying like, women are 100% firefighters too, and like you should follow your dreams. And, you know, so it was really, really positive for that. But, you know, also highlighted, that's a great example of, you know, we still have those very traditional senses of, you know, boys do this and girls do this, and that's what you're taught. Like it infuriates me when I go to like the toy aisle and everything for girls is pink and everything for boys is blue, and like the cars and the, you know, and more rough and tough stuff, and girls are dainty, and, you know, and sure, you see some of those things happen in kids, but it doesn't mean that's how they are across the board.
Exactly.
So I think, yeah, of course, anytime we have more opportunities to portray people in non-traditional senses, it can't help but then inspire people to think that could be me, or I could get into this industry and then help have more voices at the table.
Okay, so the next part of this video is I'm going to show you 10 covers.
Okay.
So there's 5 covers from like male artists and there's 5 of female artists, and I want to see if you can tell them apart.
Oh no.
Ready?
Pressure.